endurance. This whole section has been talking about how muscle performance is going to affect your ability to move. And when we say move, we're referring to producing motion and also controlling or maintaining it. Endurance of a muscle is all about maintaining and controlling that motion. At this moment, we can turn on the whole muscle. We turn on the muscles that complement our movement. We create the motion, ignoring the muscles that are sort of the counter of the motion. Also, the muscle has enough myosin hand connections to grab onto the actin and pull and produce the force that we need to do what we want to do, which is overcome the weight of our limb or the item and pick it up. So what makes up endurance in this scenario? Well, in a normal situation, there are two things that are going to determine if we can keep up the motion. And I heard these best explained by Andy Galpin. You have one, which is fuel. Do you have enough fuel to continue with the muscle contraction? And two, fatigue or waste management. Do we have effective waste management to get rid of all the crap, all our byproducts that are created by the contraction of the muscle fast enough so that the muscle's environment isn't compromised and we can keep going? Fuel. This can be a big topic. We're talking about macronutrients, micronutrients, deconditioned people, or maybe even, going down the rabbit hole of metabolic syndrome. However, for the most part, fuel issues are usually longer time frame issues. Most people have enough fuel stored in their body to do most everyday tasks. You might be getting to fueling issues if you're trying to push your body, like long distance running, multiple sprints, trying to PR something with heavy weights over a period of time. These might be fuel scenarios. A lot of these can also, as you can imagine, are much more sort of full body activities. You're using your lungs, your heart, your multiple muscles from different areas of your body. You could say that if your body is very poor at a lot of these systems, that it might also have some fuel deficits early on, which is another problem altogether. What about individual muscles having an endurance issue? More often than not, this is a fatigue waste management issue. Muscles, when they turn on and stay on, are producing byproducts. You can go into depth about the ATP Krebs cycle, glycolysis, inflammatory, pH changes that occur during repeated or sustained contractions. The main thing to understand here from an endurance standpoint is that you need better highways to get good stuff in, and more importantly, all byproducts flushed out. That means more capillaries. These are your highways and interstates in order to get fuel in and get waste out. The more that waste sits there, the harder it becomes for your muscles to continue doing their job. Wim Hof is a great example of this. For those that don't know Wim Hof, he is also known as the Iceman. He was sort of the modern founder of cold exposure and hyperventilation breathing. One of the activities he does requires you to rapidly breathe, which builds up sort of the CO2 retention in your body. And then what you do is you hold your breath while doing a max rep of push-ups. What you find is that you might be able to only do like 20 push-ups normally in a row, but then when you perform the breathing and the hold, you can do like 50 push-ups nonstop. And how the hell is this possible? Well, this example proves that you did not have a strength issue in your muscles. You did 50. You were dealing with an endurance issue that was really a waste management problem. Instead of doing reps and causing local pH around the muscle to become more acidic in nature, you were actually getting ahead of it by making the area extra basic to begin with. So let's say that your baseline pH is 7.5. And if I use my muscle a lot, it gets down to 7.3, and then I'm going to feel the burn and stop. Well, if my pH started at 7.7 before I even do the exercise, it's going to take a while to get down to 7.3. However, there are other pathologies that are not just fuel and fatigue management issues for endurance, but these are more special cases. Neurological fatigue, for instance, like multiple sclerosis. If someone is having a nerve root radiculopathy, which would be more of a peripheral nerve, you might find that it's hard to sustain a contraction. We'll get into these concepts later on when we talk about more neurological pathologies and screenings.